Riyom. Okay. So balyadishwapi jagradadishu tatha sarva swavastha swapi vyavritta swanu vartamanam aham ityanta spurantam sada swatmanam prakati karoti bhajatam yo mudraya bhadraya tasmai shri gurumurtaye namayidam shri dakshinamurtaye. This is a very direct shloka. Is directly pointing out to that substance, that which is the aham அப்படிங்கிற substance directly address பண்றார். Basically இது படிச்சு நம்ம மண்டையில ஃபயர் அலாரம் போற மாதிரி இருக்கும், அது மாதிரி இருக்கு. So basically you can just use this one shloka to get to the essence of all that Vedanta is trying to say, which is balyadi. Balya is a avastha, yeah. Balya avastha, yauvan avastha, kaumaram, and then jara or the vruddha avastha. So each stage of life, from the childhood to youth to adulthood to old age, in all those avasthas, in all those, abdina is the statement. So it says balya adi shu. Adi shu. Shu is essentially saptami vibhakti plural. Sanskritatila the seventh vibhakti is to indicate location either in space or time. It's a locative indication. So shu or su appadin paathelna in the context la, for a noun when it is applied, it indicates in. So balya adi shu na balya appadi balya adi na balya etc. Balya madri stages, etc. stages. In that, then what is the other one? Jagrit adishu. Jagrit swapna sushupti appadinu moonu states irukkalla. Adi shu. Adi is always etc. in this context. So jagrit adishu, jagrit adishu, jagrit adishu. Tatha, like that, sarva avasthasu api. Sarvasu avasthasu api. Sanskritatla oru idu irukku. The adjective takes the same declension as the noun. So if you're saying sarva avastha, all the states, in all the states, avasthasu appadina in all the states. Again, it's the seventh declension, seventh saptami vibhakti plural. All the states, avasthasu, sarvasu, all vandu sarva. So all states ingiradhukku sarvasu avasthasu. Api also. So in the he's talking about the two kinds of states. One is the states of the age that you go through. Second is every day you go through the states. So onnu vandu during your life, the states that you go through your aging process, all the different states that you go through, or be it during your day itself, ore day la kuda the number of different states that you go through, jagrat swapna sushupti, the states that you go through, in all of these states, sarvasu avasthasu, vyavrittasu, in all the different states, vyavritti na different, vyavrittasu anuvartamanam. Anuvartamanam na that which remains. Vartamanamna solluvalle present tense nu solluvalle vartamana kala appadina present tense. Vartamanamna irukkuradhu, anuvartamanam, it continues to be there. How does it remain? What is the form? It remains as I, aham. And the aham iti antah, aham iti antah spurantam. Namakulla vandu it is spurantamna, it is vibrating. Spurantam is to vibrate. It vibrates. Vibrates na, it doesn't necessarily, it's not vibrating like the physical substance vibration. Its presence is felt. Its presence is felt as something that is the living consciousness. Iti spurantam, anta spurantam sada, always. So, the first red line paakala number. Balyadishu, jagridadishu, tatha, sarvasu avasthasu api. Vyavrittasu. So, in the states la, Balyadishu states la, Jagridadishu states la, ella states liyo, and any other different states that we don't know of also. Correct? In the rendu states solitaire, age, as you age, the different time period that you go through, and also during the day that you go through as Jagrit, Swapna, Sushuptu, and also various other states that you may not be aware of. If you go into parapsychology or psychology studies, you will see the different states of the mind. See, mind number one, we only talk about either it's waking or it's in the subconscious or unconscious or deep sleep. 2 or 3 states we talk about generally. But there are many, many intermediary states of consciousness. நம்ம உட்கார்ந்திருக்கறச்சே இப்படி திடீர்னு பராக் பார்க்கறோம். அந்த பராக் பார்க்கிறதுன்னு தமிழ்ல there is this term. When you're looking at something, you are actually not looking at it. The mind is elsewhere. So are you unconscious? You're not unconscious. Are you entirely conscious? No. Only your eyes are seeing, but it's not registering anything. So it's a certain different state that you're in. There, I recall this. Our parent, Ada Ramachandra. இது கொஞ்சம் பவர்ஃபுல்லான ஸ்லோகா போல இருக்கு இன்னைக்கு ஒரே ஃபயர். So just a couple of more minutes. Okay, so your Mandolin Srinivas, hardly anybody who would not know him. Mandolin Srinivas, when he was very young, he used to, whenever he perform, he would have this very, on the stage when he's performing, he will go into states of trance. Idu eppadi theriyumna, he'll be smiling, he'll be performing and he'll be smiling and acknowledging ella appadi thalaiyaatinde vaasichindrupar chinna vayasiliye. Adukku mudinja appuram after the performance, people come and introduce. நான் ஃப்ரண்ட்ல உட்கார்ந்தேன் என்ன பார்த்தேல தலையாட்டினே அப்படின்னா அப்படியா அப்படிம்பாரு. He will say that, oh அப்படியா நீங்க இருந்தேளா அப்படின்னு கேட்பார். So he is actually seeing, but he is not seeing. He is probably nodding or acknowledging or whatever, but he is within himself, he is so absorbed into the art form that is performing that he is actually not present there. He is present, but not in the transactionary world. Correct? So there are many different alternative states that we are in. You can't pinpoint saying at what state. Even in fact, even the Mandukya Upanishad covers these 3 main states: Jagrat, Swapna, Sushupti. Although it covers these 3 states, it also makes a mention saying there are many intermediary states. Mandukya Upanishad also states it. Between dream and deep sleep, there are many, many small states you go through. Between deep sleep and waking, there are many small states you go through. Right? So the point here is, it doesn't matter what states you're in. It doesn't matter. In all those states, in Vyavrittasu, in all the different states, Anuvartamanam, it always remains, it remains forever, always, sada, vibrating or pulsating, spurantam, as aham. Aham iti spurantam. Kutra spurantam? Antah, in my, within me. When a child is born, When an infant, the child is born outside, it starts crying and it starts recognizing the world slowly. The only thing that it knows is the I. Every child has the same name, which is Aham. எல்லாருக்கும் பேர் என்ன அப்படின்னு கேட்டா ஒரே பேர் தான் நமக்கு எல்லாருக்கும், அகம் அப்படிங்கிறது. This is not the அகங்காரோட அகம் கிடையாது. This is the aham, which is the common aham, the pulse, the aham that is vibrating within each one of us, because that is the first thing that you recognize before you recognize anything else. I know, the I first comes and then the know comes after it. Whenever I say I know something, the I comes first. The recognition of the I comes first. The ability to know comes next. The object of knowledge comes third. So the whole tracing is, Vedanta is trying to trace us back from the object back to the aham. Aham also, that's nice. Correct. Aham also has Spuranam. Kalpakaji is saying Spuranam is the sound hum, is also a vibration sound, and it's also embedded in the word aham. So aham. In fact, that's also a method of meditating on aham, the sound of aham. You just keep repeatedly saying aham. So in this aham is existing the recognition of the I. So that recognition of the I is the thing that whether you recognize it or not, it is there. See, it's not, the I does not exist in the recognition of it. It exists irrespective of it, which is what the shloka is saying. In whatever state you are, you're conscious, you're unconscious, you're semi-conscious, you're whatever state you are in, even in the state of coma, this I is always there. This I is always there. How do you recognize it? It is for us to recognize it in a way that whatever has happened throughout my activity of the days or through the years that I've lived, everything has changed, but that has not changed. In a way it's to say that it's easy to recognize it. At the same time, it's very difficult. It's very easy to recognize. It's right here, right now. இதுக்கு தேடின எங்கேயுமே போக வேண்டாம். ஆனா தேடினாதான் கிடைக்கும். That is also the truth. So that is the dichotomy of this whole situation we are stuck in. It is right here, right now, and it is self-evident. Swatmanam prakati karoti. Swa-atmanam. It is revealed by its own self. Nobody else. It's like saying torch. You can't search the torch. You can't use the torch light to search the torch. You can use it to search everything else. You cannot use the torchlight to search the torch itself. You'll never be able to. Similarly, that's because it's self-evident. It is the torch light itself is the proof that there is a torch. That which you're pointing a torch light at something, or a torch light vella varudhu, that itself is the proof that there is a torch which is reflecting the light. So in that sense, the very presence of our consciousness, that I am conscious, I am there, I am conscious of myself, is the proof of that consciousness. By the virtue of I am being conscious is the proof of consciousness. It's a little tricky, Ilya. How do you prove consciousness? That I am, that I recognize I am conscious is the proof that there is consciousness. There is no other way to prove it. Adnalda, in all the works you will see, even if you take Tattva Bodha, for instance, those who have gone through Tattva Bodha, you will see the first several shlokas are where Adi Shankara negates what the Atma is not. Atma is not this, Atma is not that, Atma is not that. Adhe madri the idula kuda Panchadashiliyum adhe mari varum, the Panchakoshas, it will negate. At the same time, even your Drigdrishya Viveka, all of these works that you see of different Vedantins, the steps are only to negate. To ascertain what it is, only one sentence. Tarhi Atma kaha apdinu kelvi varum. Therefore, what is Atma? Satchidananda Swarupaha. Satchidananda Swarupaha Atma. Atma ennadinu point out pandradhukku there is only one line, or maybe even those are just words. You can't use those words to really, you can only point to it. But what you can do is keep negating everything else. So that process is what here in the shloka is he saying, in different states that I am existing, I am complete, he's pointing to us that look at that within you is pulsating sada constantly, and it is self-revealing. Swa atmanam prakati karoti. இனி கொஞ்சம் இதை எக்ஸ்டெண்ட் பண்ணிட்டு நம்ம இன்னைக்கு ஒரு 5 ஒரு மாதிரி இன்னொரு 10 மினிட்ஸ்ல இதை க்ளோஸ் பண்ணிடலாமா நம்ம? If you're okay, we will because I'm worried again when this thing will start.
கீதாக்கு வந்து நான் 7:15 ரெடி ஆகணும்.
அப்படியா? சோ அது என்ன ஒரு 10 மினிட்ஸ் இருக்கா?
7 o'clock ஆயிடுச்சு. 7:03 ஆகுது.
So ஒரு 10 minutes or whatever நீங்க எப்படின்னு பாருங்க. ஒரு 5-7 மினிட்ஸ்ல வில் இது பண்ணிக்கலாம்.
ஓகே.
ஏன்னா இன்னைக்கு கொஞ்சம் இது ஆயிட்டு இருந்தது. Initial there was a little this thing and I will probably close it today and Soundarya Lahari இன்னைக்கு பண்ண வேண்டாம். இதோட I don't want to again have a hindrance. சும்மா சத்தம் போட்டுட்டு இருக்கு.
So சமிக்கணும், நான் இது பண்ணிட்டுப்பா.
சரி, ஓகே ஜி, ஓகே, நோ ப்ராப்ளம்.
ஹரியோம்.
இது கொஞ்சம் கண்டினியூ பண்ணி இதை முடிச்சுக்கிறோம் இன்னைக்கு. சோ ஸ்வாத்மானம் பிரகட்டி கரோதி பஜதாம் யோ முத்ரயா பத்ரயா. So what it means is swa atmanam, own self, by its own self it is revealing. Prakati karoti, prakatam karoti, prakati karoti bhajatam yaha, the one who is devoted to this aham. And how is it represented? With this auspicious mudra, mudraya bhadraya. Mudra is a symbol, bhadra means auspicious. So this is the tritiya vibhakti, the third declension. By the mudra, one who shows this truth, that aham iti antah spurantam sada, who shows this truth by a gesture alone, by the gesture of an auspicious gesture. Chin mudra an solrala, this chin mudra is an auspicious gesture. Yaha prakati karoti mudraya bhadraya. With this chin mudra, so that is another way of looking at it. One who reveals this truth. Prakati karoti yaha Yaha prakati karoti mudraya bhadraya. This auspicious chinmudra vechindi, he reveals this truth. What is that truth? That aham iti antah spurantam sada. This aham is constantly vibrating, pulsating within me. And interesting use of word here, bhajatam. Bhajatam appadini use pandra indha edathilana. We have spoken about some of this earlier, is devotion. When you're devoted to something, what you're truly devoted is to this presence within us. This presence within us is what we are devoted to. You're not devoted to a Devi or a Lakshmi or a Saraswati or a Krishna or a Rama outside. Fundamentally, our devotion is to this presence that is within us, because we need something on the outside to be devoted to. We create these images. Even the Guru, for that matter, the Guru on the outside, the only purpose of the Guru on the outside is to point you to this Guru which is inside, and once he is done, he will go away. There are several instances of great masters who have had only a little interaction with their actual Guru. Like Swami Shivananda, those who have heard of Swami Shivananda of Rishikesh, Swami Shivananda has created many sannyasis, many disciples, and they turned out to be great masters. Swami Chinmayananda is one of them. My Guru Swami Shantananda is one of them. Then Swami Vishnu Devananda, Swami Chidananda, Swami Krishnananda. Many gurus came out from the Shivananda ashram. But Swami Shivananda oda Guru yaru appadinu keta, his interaction with his Guru was only probably for a 30-40 minutes or 1 hour. It is a very short interaction. He happened to see his Guru, banks of Rishikesh, Ganga, for a short period. His Guru's name was Vishweshananda, Swami Vishweshananda, Vishweshwarananda or Vishweshananda, one of the two. It's a very short interaction. But it's because Swami Shivananda was so ripe that it took his Guru to just that little time to point out the Guru inside, and that's it. After that, he didn't need the physical form of the Guru outside. Right? So there are many such examples. There are people they've had just a little interaction. So that is the purpose of the Guru. Purpose of the Guru is to point out that inner Guru. So the moment that inner Guru is pointed out, his job is done. He can go off. You don't need him, because now you've known what the true Guru is. So that is surrender. True surrender is to that presence within us. If you are able to, Amma ennoda amma eppovume onnu solluva, thanna kandu bayandavan thappu panna maatan appadinu. It's a Tamil saying. I'm sure it's also said in other languages. But the saying is that one who fears himself will never do a mistake. One who fears himself, appadina, the one who is in tune with oneself, anything that he does will not be a mistake. Two ways of looking at it. One is the one who's afraid of himself, which means na tappu pannida kodadenu bayandane irukkrava tappu panna maata. He'll probably not do a mistake because he's always cautious. But the other way I'd like to look at it is the one who is always in tune with oneself. Anything that he does will never be a mistake. Whatever he does will be right, because he's in tune with himself. He's surrendered to himself. He is in attunement with himself. So that is the bhajatam, the ability to be devoted to yourself. Whether we are devoted to a Guru or a Ishta Devata or a deity outside, That's the initial stages where we are devoted, we do puja, we do all the rituals. But eventually it should come within. It should come within. It should essentially eventually come to that presence, and which is why it's said always after we do any puja, any rituals, we should sit quietly for some time. Like yesterday we saw Sharadaradhya, which means doing is important, but being is more important than doing. We have to do, and then be. Be in what? Not in asking, not in wanting, asking and all that. Just be silently. Because that silence is much more powerful than seeking. When we do a ritual or a puja or some regular this thing that we do, we keep asking. I do it for this purpose, for my well-being, for my physical well-being, mental well-being, spiritual well-being, my children, my family, and all of that. But then it's also, after we do that, it's good to shut up. It's good to shut up and keep quiet and just be within. Not think of anything, just be in that presence. Knowing that the greatest treasure, the greatest power is here. Correct? The greatest people, the masters, the greatest ones are the ones who have realized that the greatness within them. And it is exactly the same in everybody. As we said earlier, this aham is our birthright. When we were born, the moment prana came into us, the life energies came into us, this aham was there. This consciousness has been there. It is just that we have turned the opposite direction. So to recognize that aham within us is the whole process. So once we, and by practice, we should do this every day. Whenever we take a little time, whatever we do, we take a few moments, we just settle down and turn inwards. Because all the necessary power comes from there only. Even though we think I did Laksharchana for Lalita Devi or Vishnu Sahasranama, Laksharchana I did. The power doesn't come from a Lalita or a Vishnu. It essentially is only drawn from within us. We become receptive to that energy. By doing actions on the outside, we are only making ourselves more receptive. But where is it coming from? It's still coming from within, not from the outside. So this sloka is Balyadishwapi, Balyadishu, Jagrit Adishu, Tatha Sarvasu Avasthasu Api, Vyavruttasu Anuvartamanam, Aham iti Antah Spurantam Sada, Swa Atmanam Prakati Karoti Bhajatam Yah Mudraya Bhadraya, Tasmai Shri Gurumurtaye Namaidam, Shri Dakshinamurtaye. So to that Dakshinamurti, with that one mudra that he shows, that one mudra, we spoke about this mudra at the start of the Dakshinamurti shloka, which is the Jivatma and the Paramatma, they come together. Which means this is Jiva Brahma Aikya Mudra. Now, we don't know what that Jiva Brahma Aikya and all of that, right? We were saying that within us, we recognize that this consciousness that is pulsating within me is the truth. That is Sat. That is Satyam. Anything that happens, this is there. Right? So recognition of that is, then you say that that is the Guru. Tasmai Shri Guru Murtaye, to that Guru I prostrate. Tasmai Shri Guru Murtaye Namaidam, Shri Dakshinamurtaye. Okay, so we'll pause here today. ॐ कायेन वाचा मनसेन्द्रियैर्वा बुद्ध्यात्मना वा प्रकृते स्वभावात् करोमि यत् सकलं परस्मै नारायणायेति समर्पयामि सदाशिवायेति समर्पयामि जगदम्बिकायै इति समर्पयामि सद्गुरुनाथायेति समर्पयामि हरि ओं तत्सद्गुरुभ्यो नमः हरि ओं Okay. हरि ओं